18. So there's a volume issue, people to be educated. Then there's an achievement issue, okay? So we're told that only 30% passed WAEC. So you have issues, we're told that graduates are increasingly unemployable. So we have issues with volume, we have issues with achievement, and I'm saddened that I'm not hearing enough of the political candidates talking about this issue. We're talking about building roads and power, but our kids, we're not talking about that, and that's probably a bigger issue.
So in what ways can technology help to ensure that these students pass the exams or even learn?
So, good. You distinguish the two, which not everybody does, because one thing is to learn, another thing is to pass. And I work a lot with young people, and like I've said before, they always make that distinction. I said, Uncle, we don't want to learn, we want to pass. Right? So you have to know, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to help them pass, or you are trying to help them to learn? Tech helps us with scale. That's the first thing, because tech enables you to do one thing once and to push it out through multiple channels. But that is best for disseminating knowledge. But disseminating knowledge is one thing, learning is another thing. Then you need to be a bit more thoughtful in how you use technology to learn, as opposed to how you use technology to disseminate content. You know?
But many will argue that this same technology can actually be said to be the reason behind the massive failure rates. What would you say about that?
I would not want to agree.
I mean, like social media, you know, a lot of students, instead of reading, they are doing Facebook or Twitter.
Should I be blunt? I think that is we're abdicating our own responsibility and blaming our children, okay? Because when they go to school, is there a teacher? Do they have materials? Are they taught? Are they doing the Facebook and social media in the classroom? So if they're doing that at home, that's one issue. But what of our own role of getting them educated through the educational system, through good teachers, through materials? We haven't done that part before blaming them. And I feel that it's as our job as parents, as older people, to educate them. And they are young, they don't know as much as we do in theory. So I feel that we failed on our own part of the job, or maybe we've not done as well. Technology, in my days, we were not on Facebook, but we were playing football. So we'll go out, instead of going to read, you go and play football, you go and swim. So it's not really the technology, it's the escapism. And then parents and teachers are there to make you do the right thing, or make the right thing not look as boring, so that you want to do it. So there's a work to do on both sides, but I don't think we should blame the children, because children have always been children.
So seeing that Nigeria has infrastructural challenges, can e-learning still be effective here?
Yes. I will just quickly take you back slightly. I like to distinguish objective. So technology can be used for learning, for the education itself. Technology can be used as a tool to supplement or make the technology work better. So you're in school, maybe you're in a traditional school and use technology to practice, to study, versus you are at home and the technology is the school itself. So you have fewer infrastructural difficulties with the supporting role. It's more difficult to use technology for the replacement role. Where we are at today, children are already doing amazing things on their phones. They're on YouTube, they're watching videos.
Amazing.
So there are challenges, but it's where there's a will, there's a way. Because already they're using that poor bandwidth and that poor phone to watch football, watch videos, maybe watch some videos we don't even want them to be watching in the first place. They're already doing it. So managing with what we have today. So we can already do a lot where we are. We can do more if the infrastructure improves, but where we are already, we can already do a lot.
Okay, so now how do we take this to the next level? How do we leapfrog this development in the educational sector?
Well, I hesitate to say government policy. I think entrepreneurs can do a lot, and obviously I'm biased in that regard. But I think more creative solutions, more creative ideas in the educational space are called for. There was a day, so one of the things I like that CC Hub has been doing is periodically they have these events where they say, okay, let's all brainstorm around a social issue and let's see what technology can do in that regard. I believe they've done one on education, but we need more. If you have enough people thinking about it, then you will have more interesting ideas coming up, because nobody has a monopoly on the solution, but the building blocks are already out there for, and some solutions are already out there, that are addressing different aspects of the problem. But the problem is very big. For instance, you have 800,000 teachers. Last year, I was at an event a few weeks ago, and we were told by a representative from Kano State that the Kano State government spent $500 million, naira, training about, if I'm not mistaken, 30,000 or was it 80,000 teachers. But the point was, when you do per unit, it wasn't too outrageous. It was about 30,000 naira per person, which for training is not too bad. But you can't scale that to 800,000 teachers.
True.
So if you just say, okay, the teachers are bad, let's train them. You can use technology in a creative way to train teachers at scale. That's just one. Then classrooms, then learning, then homework is a big problem. So we need more people thinking about different parts of the problem.
Okay, so what is the state of e-learning today in Nigeria? Are Nigerians accepting it? Are we embracing it all?
I find personally that not many people are keen on learning. Like I told you, they're keen on what we call in Git Mobile, we call it personal achievement. And personal achievement depends on who you are. So the senior secondary school student wants to pass. The guy who is doing ICANN, not everybody who is doing ICANN wants to learn accounting. He wants to have ICANN. So if you give solutions that are learning, it's not everybody who is trying to learn. Many people are just trying to get a badge to get a job. So if I have ICANN, so if you give me a technology tool that helps me learn accounting deeply, some are interested, but many are not interested. If you give me a technology tool that helps me pass my ICANN exam, so you have some universities that are making inroads. For instance, in Ife, they're doing a lot of things that are very fascinating. They have a lot of courses online. So you have different initiatives, but I feel the take-up is not as aggressive when it's not forced. When a university says, this is the way you do this in my school, you do it. But the ones that people adopt by themselves, they're driven by, I'm doing a master's in some university abroad, and that's the way we used to do it. So I need that achievement, that master's, so I use it. Or I need to achieve this. But learning for learning's sake or as a tool, as part of a learning setup, the take-up could be more, I would say. People are doing things, but for different reasons.
All right. I'd like to ask you a twofold question. Sometime in the future, I probably would do a PhD online. Now, would you, as a PhD holder, accept somebody who does a PhD online? And with other scholars, your other colleagues, would they accept that, considering the trend of today?
Okay, I'm probably not your very conventional Nigerian scholar. I used to be an executive of the Academy of Management, which is a global organization, but it's US-based. And so I'm very influenced by the American philosophy approach to academia. And I'm not so interested in where you got your PhD. I'm more interested in what you can produce. So if you say you got a PhD in your kitchen, and I see some documents, you writing some nice articles, I say, I like this guy. If you say you got your PhD in Harvard, and I read what you wrote, and I look at it, and I say, I just look at you somehow. So in my mind, really, if that online PhD works, that is, enables you to be a good scholar, I like it. But even if it is Yale or Stanford and you're not a good scholar, so that's my own approach. I'm more interested in the scholar than the school. But I think digital online is Africa's opportunity to catch up. So more people, not everybody can fit into a Harvard class. Only you can take 70, and we're 1 billion. So I want more people to do digital and online, but I want them to really learn, not just go and get a certificate to say I went somewhere. If it's a PhD in mathematics, definitely, I think you can do it online. But if it's a PhD in acting, I would suspect that you probably need to do some practicals in the acting. So you may find some areas that are more amenable to digital than others. But I don't discriminate on where you got your learning if you got learning.
Okay, as we bring this segment to an end, I would like you to one final word to students, to parents, and Nigeria in general, how we can use technology to grow our educational system.
My advice is non-technological, and it applies to technology, is seek to grow, seek to learn. If you listen to Bill Gates, he's a computer pioneer, but he talks about health, about malaria. You listen to renowned people, they have something inside. Nigerians, we do the shortcut approach because that's what seems to work in Nigeria now, but Nigeria will not be like this forever. So my advice to people is to seek to grow, to learn, because that's a personal investment in our own selves. And technology enables us to learn and grow. So my advice to you to find how they can use technology to develop themselves, improve themselves, not just get some badge to chase something that is temporary, but to grow and to be, as we say in Gilmobile, be all you can be using technology.
All right, Tunji. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Much.
All right, that's been it for this segment. You heard from Tunji. We have a challenge, and we also have an opportunity to solve this challenge. We'll be right back after this break. It's Evernote Sketch, a photo editing tool that helps to grab attention to your photos. It allows you to mark up your images at will, get your point across with fewer words using annotation, shapes, and sketches, so that your ideas can become a reality faster. Now, my favorite tool also is called Sketch Highlighter because it lets you to easily point out text in a web page, screenshot, or image. Just click on the tap pen tool and choose the highlighter from the sidebar menu. That's why I love Sketch, because it makes your photos sweeter to use on the internet. On the Tech Clinic segment today, we'll look at some of the frequently asked questions sent in by our viewers. Now, first on the list, from John, he says his website appears on the 5th page of Google. What can he do about that? Your website is simply not considered important by the search engines. That's why it appears on the 5th page. Now, if you want it to appear on the first page, you need to do what is called search engine optimization. And that's basically optimizing your website for the search engines. If you like to improve your website's ranking, then you need to start creating awesome content that people would love, because Google has a way of knowing pages people love based on the number of minutes they spend on the page. You must ensure that you do some form of search engine optimization for your website, which includes keyword research, on-page optimization, and link building. Truth is that top ranking on the SERPs, which simply means search engine results page, does not come easy. So you really need to do hard work for this to happen. One of the frequently asked questions I get is something along the lines of, my system takes time to boot. What can I do? Now, I won't go too techie on this one, but you need to understand that every activity you perform on your PC, such as saving a document, leaves some sort of residues on your computer. So every now and then, it is important that you tune up your system using a good tool. Now, one of my favorite tools is a tool called CC Cleaner, which has both a free and a paid version. Now, I use the free version, and the free version works just fine. Now, you should at least try to clean up your system at least once a week for a system that you use every other day. Please send your questions and comments to techtrends@channelstv.com or using any of our social media sites, including our BBM channel as displayed on your screen. I would like to end today's show by leaving you with a quote by Jennifer Fleming, which says, "Teaching in the internet age means we must teach tomorrow's skills today." My name is Chukwemeka Agbata. Until next week, I'm saying stay blessed and be happy.